Okay, I know we are right after lunch, but I hope we'll make it interactive and interesting for all of you so that you have a lot of takeaways to go back and kind of implement in all your strategy. I'll kick off by introducing myself. My name is Ruchita. I lead partnerships for some of the largest OTAs in India for Google. I'm very, very excited to host this esteemed panel today. We will have a lot of interactions around customer loyalty today. We know with the increasing pressure on profitability, it's not just important to get a user, but it's extremely important to retain a user, and hence customer loyalty plays a very, very important role. With AI being the new buzzword, and no conversations can go without that, we'll also learn from our panel today around some of the AI strategies that we can use for building sustainable loyalty in travel. With that, I'll quickly introduce you to our panel today. We have Nidhi, who is the Regional Vice President APAC for Diners Club International. We have Pankaj, who is the Senior Vice President Corporate Strategy, RateGain Travel Technologies. We have Sweta, who is the Vice President of Product Xoxoday. We have Neel, who is the country manager for SkyScanner. We have Preetam, who is the associate director, Ecommerce, Radisson Hotels. And lastly, we also have Sahil, who is the director of loyalty at Marriott Hotels, in that order. Before we get into the real topic, let's break some ice since we are right after lunch. We would also like to get to know the panelists a little more better. So why not start with a rapid fire round? I'll try to be the Karan Johar here today. So we'll start with you in that order. I would request the panelists to probably use just one word or a very short phrase answer. Yeah? Okay, cool. So we'll start with you. AI in travel, a hype or a reality?
Reality, banking, the industry worldwide spent about $6 billion in generative AI in 2024, so definitely a reality.
I would say reality. We are looking at solutioning a lot of hospitality solutions, and it's for real.
Reality, of course. I think the only thing that's changed, and AI has been around for many, many years now. What's changed is it used to be an afterthought. Now it's AI first. I mean, you think of applications with AI first in mind.
I think it's still very buzzy today, but it'll be a way of life tomorrow.
I think even for us, it's more of a buzz because as a hotel industry, the focus is on services when the guest is in the hotel, but we are catching up big time and using the right partners to get into this world.
Well, it's a reality and it's an added advantage for me.
Interesting. Next one. Let's try and see if you guys can keep it even more shorter than this. So, okay, one word to describe a truly loyal customer.
Brand champion.
Fan base promoter.
I used to, yeah. Apple users?
True love.
Yeah, it keeps coming back to us.
Loyalty members.
Good job. Okay, the most important factor in building customer loyalty. You can maybe use a phrase.
Doing your homework. Just get to know your customer and build your connection.
I would say understanding the customer needs, wants, fulfilling them, and ironing out the friction points or friction through the touch points on the consumer journey.
Yeah, I think of it as building relationship rather than, another program altogether. You're just trying to understand your customer better and build a relationship with them.
Just trust.
Yeah, for its memory that lasts a lifetime with this stay with us.
Offer value.
Nice. And I don't think so any travel panel can be completed if I don't ask them which is their favorite travel destination, either where you have been already or you would probably still want to visit that.
Japan, very friendly people, almost courteous to a fault.
Wonderful. For me, it will be Caribbean. Just love the water. And
I'm sorry, Nidhi, can't answer in one word for sure because every place that I go to, I want to visit again. I mean, I'm never happy with it. But recent travels, I think Iceland is one I really love, and I want to visit Antarctic. So that's
There's this
in the list. Yeah.
There's this place called Umiam Lake in Meghalaya. And I really love that. It's very calming. So I keep going back there. Yeah.
For me, I keep going back to Varanasi in India, and globally, it's Barcelona for me.
And I've only been to budget-friendly places, huh? So for me, it's either Paris or anywhere in the hills. No, but I've only been once. So, but anywhere in the hills, I should just be able to take my car and go drive to the hills. Yeah, I wasn't saying that, but since you mentioned.
Great. I would like to share mine. Call me traditional, but I still love Goa to death. I can keep going back over and over again. But also Salzburg is somewhere I think I would want to go back again. So yeah, that's mine. Okay, so let's dive deep into the topic. Since we have about 6 panelists, I'll try and break it down based on their expertise in the field that they are in. So we'll try and break it down, these questions, so that we can make it more relevant for you. So when we talk about customer loyalty, we know that a key to customer loyalty is probably personalization, right? Neel, we'll probably start with you. How is SkyScanner using personalization, trying to understand user behavior and breaking down travel preferences to each individual and tailoring experiences to them, right from whether they're starting their first search journey to the post-stay engagement? And what are some of the results that you have seen?
Thanks. So firstly, just like a 20-second, like for someone who doesn't know what Skyscanner is, it's basically a global trusted marketplace for travelers, and it's like the cheapest way to get like flights or hotels. We have around 120 million travelers globally. India is our second largest market, and I think out of all global flights in the last 5 years, 5% of them have been generated through Skyscanner. Now, I think when it comes to AI and loyalty, specifically 2 parts to it, right? Like one is what do we do from a machine learning algorithm perspective, and one is like what do we do from a more visible Gen AI perspective. I feel like we've seen more strides in the machine learning side of it, which is what our engineers are kind of building out. We've seen specifically, like let's say, well, for example, our machine learning algorithms have shown that in the mobile phone, there are only 3 action items which 89% of our users use. So obviously prioritizing that will lead to a much more intuitive travel experience. From a generative AI perspective, we have something called Savvy Search, which is like kind of like just like a chat GPT, you have a conversation. So I say, I want to see like which are the places which have cricket matches in 2025, or where I can, and I actually searched this today, where I can see a mountain and a beach in the same place. So it gave me the options of like Cape Town and Rio de Janeiro, and then like it tells me what are the cheapest flights across the months. So I feel still, as I said, slightly buzzy because you need a lot of proprietary data, and you need to kind of build on that. And like, so it's still very, very early days as to like what we can do with personalization. But I still think like if we keep plugging away with it, it'll be interesting. I think one last trend which we noticed is that ran a couple of surveys. 47% of our travelers are very comfortable using AI for travel, which is much more than I thought would be. And the most comfortable are in Brazil, UAE, and not surprisingly, India. So, yeah.
Great. Probably, Sahil, I'll take it to you, the same one. From a hotel standpoint, wherein every user is so different, has very specific requirements, personalization again becomes very, very critical. How is probably Marriott looking at this when it comes to personalization? And how are you looking at AI specifically to leverage some of this personalization for your guest services?
Yeah, so with us, the task gets even difficult because we've got multiple, for a big box hotel like JW, for instance, right? We've got about 250 arrivals every day. And out of which, you know, maybe 100 guests are top MD CEOs of top companies. And mostly our target for Marriott is to have 80% Marriott Bonvoy members across all hotels. You know, we've got 8,000 hotels in the world, so imagine the kind of members we have. So our database is huge. These guests that we cater to are, you know, very specific in terms of the kind of experience they want, right? Like for a business traveler, you know, they don't want to talk much. They want to have a seamless experience. They have less time to waste. They want their room ready, they want the key ready, and they just want to be escorted up. For that, we have mobile check-in, which is a part of our Marriott Bonvoy app. It's like SkyScanner has, it's a seamless experience for our guests. So that is one. Second, we also have our PMS, which is property management systems, where we store all the information of our guests who are staying with us. For instance, if you like black coffee, and I'm serving you for the first time a black coffee, our system would have that mentioned that you like black coffee. And if you're staying at JW, I met you for the first time, you're staying for the first time, but if you go to Western Gurgaon, maybe tomorrow, by automatically you'll be asked, would you like to have a black coffee, ma'am? So that is the kind of experience that we were trying to deliver. But again, execution is extremely difficult for us because serving and putting in data is one and executing is the other. So that is what we're trying to master at. And that is where AI can't help us, right?
Got it. No, personally, I have seen this experience in some of the larger chains in terms of how they've actually nailed it to the T, and probably that's why India is the market when people want to come back to the large chain of hotels because of the kind of customization, personalization that one gets here.
And sorry, just to add on,
Sure.
if you go to a Ritz-Carlton at Paris, you'll be again served black coffee. So that is the level of personalization we're trying to achieve.
That's why you like Paris so much.
Paris seems
I
the
burned
word.
my points there, so.
Got it. We heard a little bit about personalization, but I think in building customer loyalty, I think another integral part beyond personalization is also, at least in the Indian context, is one thing is very important is the customer service and support side of business, right? We know that AI can actually help enhance the overall customer journey if we are able to improve our customer service and support. So maybe probably we'll start with Preetam. If you could help us understand that from a hotelier's perspective, how do you see AI impacting guest interactions, specifically in the context of customer service and support?
Sure. So just to add on the personalization point, we used AI for translations. So we serve guests from across the world, and they like to be served in their own languages, and translation is a costly affair and a complicated affair. So we're using AI to help with translation to make it simpler, easier to reach out to guests in their language and have an end-to-end experience right from search ad to the confirmation in their language. In terms of guest experiences, of course, that is the core of our existence, to have a great, delightful experience to guests. But before that, we have to showcase them what exactly the hotel is offering. And that we do on our own website, because that's where our members book us. So there, the technology that we use is called Metapod, and powered by a partner called Headbox. So we take virtual tours of the hotel that you can explore in virtual reality. And it's super realistic. So you actually get what you want. So the trust is getting built. And the Metapod cameras are also AI assisted. So you can't cheat there. You can't, like in a photograph, you can edit and show something else. You can't do this with Metapod. So we're building trust. We're showcasing guests exactly what they will get when they arrive at the hotel. And that's where it's making it very realistic for guests. And then we also working with a company called Hotelverse, which is bringing metaverse to us. So basically, we're getting digital twins of the hotel on online platforms. So you can actually feel that you are a drone flying over the hotel, looking at all the aspects of the hotel from inside out. So you know exactly what you're getting into. And that trust makes people come back to us. And then it's our experience that we provide to come back to us.
Got it. That's pretty high tech, I must say. We'll probably move to you, Sweta. So from a rewards platform perspective, right, how is Xoxoday's AI-powered recommendation engine specifically enhancing the post-booking experience?
Right, so just a few minutes not a few minutes, just a few words for Xoxoday. So we work on building, so we are a technology platform which enables companies to build their loyalty programs, and we have a rewards marketplace which companies use for their customers to burn their points. Now, from loyalty perspective, what we are trying to do is personalization, of course, is the key. I mean, but when we say personalization, it's not just content, right? It's not about what content will be right for you, but also what time should I send you that content? Where should I send that content? So I'll just give you an example. For some of our customers, what we're trying to do is, if you are in in an area where the offer would make sense, we push that content out at that at that time, right? So for instance, if I'm in AeroCity and I have an offer from Pullman, I would get an offer show up on my phone when I am, kind of crossing or in the nearby area, which is key because I am more likely to engage with the program only when it's relevant for me. So not just content, time, where, which platform am I sending it to, etc. So that's one part. Second, what we are hearing from our customers now is also that, in loyalty, engagement really drops, right? I mean, it's very important for customers to, to understand and engage with the end customer to engage with our customers. So one problem that loyalty faces is expiry on offers. The rewards expire without them even realizing, right? So how do we ensure that our customers get those, know about that something is expiring, then they can use it. So we are trying to use AI to understand the customer better based on the behavioral data and their usage data, etc. that's available, and push and help the content. And of course, on the support side there's already generative AI that helps, what sort of reply can be automated. All those things are already in place, I think, done and dusted.
Got it. I know Pankaj, RateGain is doing a lot of work in this space. If you could share your experience of what you have been doing with your clients and how the space is evolving specifically from a customer loyalty standpoint.
Sure, thanks a lot. A quick introduction to RateGain for everyone. We are a travel tech SaaS company, very specifically focused on hospitality industry. And we are amongst one of the largest data house across the world on hotel distribution as well as travel audiences. With that, I just want to continue what with Neel said, there is the ML AI part and there is obviously the generative AI part. So given we are the data warehouse, we run a lot of ML in terms of what is the pricing intelligence, what should be the price for a particular hotel like Andaz in maybe end of March, because we collect a lot of signals. What is the competition pricing? Are there events happening? What is weather looking like? What are the airline schedules to bring in how many demand? So a lot of things kind of combine together as part of the machine learning algorithms, apart from, annual or monthly seasonalities, etc., to do the pricing intelligence. And essentially, we are on the B2B side, so our goal is to how do we maximize the revenue for the hotels. A lot of family members do ask me, how can we get the cheapest price at a hotel? But I say, unfortunately not. I'm on the other side. So that's one use case on the AML side, which is fairly well done. Even on the airlines, we do that. On generative AI and specifically on customer service, we do a lot of social media monitoring and brand management for some of the marquee hotels across the world, including the Ritz-Carlton, Oberoi's in India. And what we realize is how Gen AI is helping us is scaling this, because with Gen Z and Gen Alpha mostly trying or are fairly active on like platforms like Instagram, etc. They even want to get customer service on a platform like Instagram. Hey, my room is not cleaned. Can someone from the hotel at Handel look at this, right? So at the background, we help hotels monitor all the messages within less than certain ETA, an hour or 2 hour. But where Gen AI has helped us is like, how do you communicate with the customer on behalf of a brand? Because each brand has its own tonality, a brand image. For example, of the Hyatt group, the Andaz hotel, which we are in, is more like a bolder profile, more artistic. You will see colorful engagement when you come in, versus a Hyatt, same group, Regency, would be really business, professional, gray tone. Now, all this, when you think about customer experience and loyalty, when you are engaging with the same customer again and again, he should feel even the words which are being used in customer service aligned to that brand tone. They feel that, hey, someone from Andaz is actually answering me because they know the brand. So we meld a lot of brand guidelines, knowing the customer, the history, and how do we respond back to them using Gen AI, obviously with the manual effort as well. So that's one thing which we have evolved recently.
Interesting. On the same tone, Neel, actually, I would want to come to you on this one also. SkyScanner being a click-out platform, but since you probably are the source platform wherein a user starts their journey of probably their planning or researching, they might also come back to you as a platform where the original booking started from, also expanding to now hotel space, etc. How critical or different is India as a market when it comes to customer service and support? Or are you doing anything differently in this space as well from a platform standpoint?
So I think, as in all of us know, like as Indians, we're all very demanding consumers, right? So we do have our fair share of like support requests slash escalation slash even there's Indian brands and like I think the gentleman on my left are kind of responsible for that have very high standards of just like treating a customer as a guest and like making them feel welcome much more than most other places in the world. So I feel like because that baseline uh, precedent of hospitality has already been set, the Indian consumer kind of like expects that, rightly so, across all platforms, like, and whether that's airlines, whether that's something else. So given that we have a very active user satisfaction team, and their primary goal is to make sure that our customers A, have full context, B, feel heard, C, because the transaction does not happen on Skyscanner, and as you said, like we redirect to other players, we have to also have like relationships with the OTAs or the airlines where the transactions actually happening. So I think more than numbers or more than processes, we've just like spent an inordinate amount of time really customizing like what would a good Indian customer experience look, whether it's regional communication, whether it's like spending that extra time where you don't just like talk to them online but you take their phone number, WhatsApp them with extra inputs, but things which would just like in its own small way make the customer feel delighted, or for that matter just not even delighted, just heard. I think when any of our flights are stuck, right, it's very anxious, right? So you got to like really develop that empathy, which for a mature market people, it's not a big deal. They'll find the next flight or they'll get a refund. In India, it's not so intuitive. So we've kind of like really coached and trained our team to take that extra mile. It's never enough, but that's like work in progress.
Got it. Maybe I'll take a quick poll from the room. How many of you have or are enrolled in some or the other loyalty programs in any travel? Maybe a hotelier, airline? Most of us? Got. So the theme for the next question is actually loyalty programs. The market is getting competitive. Everybody wants to have an edge over the other. And the user journey is not linear, right? They will make a lot of decision making by doing a lot of research, planning, exploring multiple platforms, exploring pricing, services, etc. on multiple platforms, right? That's when I think loyalty programs play a very important role in terms of our loyalty programs truly driving value for the users or not, right? And hence, traditional loyalty programs we have also seen are evolving day by day, right? What used to exist as a loyalty program 5 years back is starkly different from what we see today, right? So we know that most of the organizations these days is leveraging AI in order to make the space more dynamic and user-friendly, to make this experience more tailored and more customized. Nidhi, I would want to actually come to you from specifically from a financial services space, right? How can AI tailor rewards to individual spending patterns? Since like members of, say, Diners Club, you would have a lot of information around where they spend, how much they spend, do they look at EMIs, what do they service, what are they most interested in? So how can you kind of truly tailor a solution like a reward program to their spending behaviors and patterns?
Sure. So credit cards, reward points are table stakes, right, for credit cards. And there are a lot of reward points, but which remain unutilized. And in card payments, we see that there is a direct correlation, not causation, between rewards redemption and spends on the card. And what AI is helping banks is making loyalty rewards more reflective of what the user wants. AI is helping in predicting the categories in which the customer would want to redeem the points and accordingly creating those personalized campaigns. For example, a large multinational bank has implemented personalized offers, reward redemption offers basis the spend patterns. What the model does is it examines the credit card usage of the customer and then would recommend redemption offers in categories where the customer may have never redeemed before. And what the bank is seeing is 40% increase in utilization of the reward points. So to give you an example, maybe somebody is using card to book public transportation, or maybe they are using for dining. So maybe give them a redemption offer at an airline, because the hypothesis being that this is a customer who likes to go out, who likes to maybe meet strangers, is comfortable being out there, right? So you can actually customize, and obviously these are a lot of test and learn is required. Right, you need to hack it, validate it, prove it. So that's happening. So I would say, so I think redemption is one area where we see that financial services specifically have started to look at it. However, I would still say AI is generative AI specifically. It is still in the early innings for the banks. More focus has been on fraud detection, optimizing the back-end process, virtual assistant as well. And now the banks have, the financial services, they've started actually looking at customizing reward programs as well.
Got it. I'll probably just double click on one point. Like you mentioned, like, of course, we know that reward points are like the game changer when it comes to credit cards specifically, right? With the advent of AI, and specifically in the last 2 to 3 years, it's radically changed, right? At Diners Club, what have you seen, like 1 or 2 big themes that you guys had to evolve or change when you saw this shift happening, which was, say, very starkly different from how you operated, say, 2-3 years back?
Sure. So I would say this is something that we are still looking at, okay, but I would give you an example. So first of all, Diners Cards is actually we are a niche segment product. We target affluents who understand the value of reward points. We would also say we have one of the highest redemption reward rates in the country across bank and across card programs. But like you say, the reward redemption has really evolved. The rewards program have really evolved. I mean, I was part of the industry when we used to send out catalogs, right, to customers. And what we see and what we also have is basically a portal, right, where you expect the customer to come and discover about their program, how they can earn, how can they burn. But what we are looking at is, can a customer, when they log into a redemption, can a banner is shown to them, which is absolutely tailored to the customer, which tells them that this is the offer where you can actually go and redeem. So this is something not implemented, but something that we are still looking at.
Got it. So ties back to personalization around.
Yeah.
Got it. We have 2 panelists who are from the hotelier space, and I don't think so I can go without asking questions around loyalty programs with them. So Sahil and Preetam, to both of you, how are Marriott and Radisson leveraging AI when it comes to specifically loyalty programs?
Let him take over because he's worked with Marriott earlier.
So you give us the flavor for both
And he's
hotels
working for
then.
Radisson now. So he's learned from the best and he's making the other the better.
Got it. So maybe Preetam, you can take this
I
and
was 5
spill
years
beans
with,
across
with the
both.
Marriott family before coming to Radisson. No, so with Radisson, we present with 130 hotels across 80 locations. So across tier 1, 2, 3, 4 cities. And we are the first ones also in many religious sites, like we're the only brand new hotel in Ayodhya, the first one to open in Prayagraj during the Kumbh. And we also rented many other locations like Varanasi, other places. So at one end, we have got diverse locations. We also have got diverse interests of guests, like somebody traveling for family, somebody for work, somebody for honeymoon, etc. So, and we have got database of our loyalty members. So what we use AI is for the perfect matchmaking. So we recommend the right places to the guests that who actually want to go there. looking at their history. So a guest who has been to religious places in the past, we refer to them to a new location that have just opened. So that ways guests don't get spammed with notifications or emails that are not relevant to them and are more likely to book. So that's how we're using it. AI.
Got it. And specifically, Preetam, Sahil, if I have to ask you, like, have you seen in the last 2 to 3 years any shift when it comes to how your members are utilizing loyalty points, or have you guys changed strategy when it comes to how you're rewarding these loyalty programs? So has there been any shift that you have seen, considering the market is also very competitive, with so many players also coming in globally as well? So any change that you have seen with respect to your strategy when it comes to loyalty programs?
I'll take that. So with Marriott, first of all, AI, right? Everybody's going to use AI. You be a customer or be an operator. Operator wants to earn more money. Customer wants best value. So regardless of whatever we say, AI is going to be used by everybody. Comes then the execution part. As long as Marriott Bonvoy is concerned, we had 180 million members on my last to last panel speak. We have now 210 across the world. So number of members that are getting on board is huge. Loyalty program members, for example, so we have different tiers of membership because on basis on the number of nights. Now all the gold leads member, so basically a gold lead member needs 25 nights a year. Platinum needs 50, titanium needs 75, and an ambassador elite member, which is the highest grade, needs 100 nights a year. So an ambassador member who's traveling 100 nights a year at all Marriott hotels, 100 nights out of 365 nights is huge. The number of guests we used to have as a unit hotel at JW Aerocity earlier was maybe 1 or 2 a day. Now we at least 5 to 7 a day. So the number of members who kind of upgrading their level of membership is increasing. The number of the number of points that are earned by a lot of our members has increased. The travel has increased, business and leisure. The burning has also increased. So in terms of burning points for a loyalty program of ours, so if you're a member, like my friend was with Deloitte earlier, now with RateGain, right? He used to travel across, and the maximum business travelers from Deloitte, EY, Accenture, KPMG, these guests travel a lot for business and they earn points. Now they can redeem those points when they're going for their personal travel. So we've earned 40,000 points while you're doing your work, but you can redeem those 40,000 points for a complimentary stay, probably at the Western Rishikesh, which is a beautiful hotel, or a JW Mussoorie. So that is one advantage that we have as a hotel, because we've got, as a brand, sorry, as a loyalty program, because we've got multiple brands. We've got 30 brands in India. We've got 150 hotels in India, and we've got 8,000 hotels across the globe. And same with Radisson. I vouch for the loyalty program as well, because Radisson is coming up with locations which are hugely impactful, like Prayagraj, and I think they're coming with Varanasi, multiple hotels. So this will go up. Marriott is also coming up with collaborations for events which are hugely looked up right now, like a concert at Diljit, right? We did a collaboration with Ed Sheeran concert that happened last year in Mumbai. So if you're a member and you have points, you can burn those points and buy tickets for an Ed Sheeran concert, which is adding value. And probably we'd like to do more of such events in future. So it's all about adding value and offering alternatives. The more concerts, because India is going to have a lot of such events, entertainment industry is growing like crazy. And if we, collaborate with such events, it's huge value to our loyalty members.
Got it. So giving the users as much options as you can, and they can redeem it as per they find value.
I just want to add exactly on what Sahil said. What we do additionally is giving guests beyond what room benefits are. So expanding benefits into F&B is what we are getting into now, and also into the wedding business. So as a member, you not only get points when you stay and you can use them, but also get additional benefits while you're dining with us in terms of discounts, plus added like free meal for kids, free desserts when you order the main course. So we are having exclusive, and these are only for Indian nationals who are dining with us. So very focused on India audience as such.
You want to add something?
I think I just wanted to add, since he raised and you asked the question, what has changed, and I mean, on the consumer side, I can probably highlight, so most of these big loyalty programs are like from the global companies, and the the ability to kind of engage and redeem as being in India has increased a lot over last few years, because there are like so many new properties and so many new places where you can actually go. Otherwise, there weren't much options to redeem. I think what has helped is also the change in the partnerships in the ecosystem. So for example, I mean, I see a trend, a lot of these, there's a consolidation in some of the top loyalty programs. For example, Marriott had, I think, partnership with United. They entered a partnership with Singapore Airlines. They even had a now partnership with Starbucks, if I'm not wrong. So your customer is going to a lot of touch points, and you're kind of engaging them through and through, and you're also enabling them to redeem, experience the benefits. So, I mean, that's the kind of covering the full traveler's journey. And at the same time, I think a lot of gamification has happened. What technology has helped is keeping them, I mean, obviously there are milestones like he talked, like gold at 25 nights, like platinum at 50 nights. But what you want to have an engagement is every 5 night, every 10 night, you get some reward, you get some small reward. So you keep feeling the part of the cycle, and that's very helpful. Mobile, for just example, wanted to highlight that Marriott, like I happened to open the Bonvoy app on my birthday. It sprinkled up saying that happy birthday today. So it's just an experience of gamification, how you keep your customer engaged beyond a point.
To add on also, like, if you come for the first time, we'll get you a nice complimentary tea. If you're coming for the 25th time, you'll get a bottle of red wine. And if you come for the 50th time, you'll get lounge access with a nice suite upgrade. So these are one of the advantages. Plus, we all are looking after their own businesses, right? We have a collaboration with Diners Club. Probably can come up with some. RateGain looks after our, market rates and different price segments that we look into. SkyScanner, we can come up. Barring him, we can collaborate with all businesses.
Never say never.
We like to take his market share though.
Yeah, just add a point here. So, for instance, right now, or what has happened so far is loyalty was very closed loop. I mean, especially from travel perspective. But when I'm traveling to, let's say, I'm in Delhi and I want to, I can burn points to do something in Delhi because I'm gonna, use one of the experiences. So if you give me that as additional, ways to burn points, that's something that's value add to me as a customer, and that's what a lot of companies globally are doing now. They're opening the redemptions to multiple different categories, and Xoxoday does that, right? So if you're, I mean, that's something that, if anybody needs Xoxoday, definitely has a rewards marketplace that helps. But that's, I think that's key, right? Because it's not just your company and your platform which is enabled for you, but let them be in different touch points, like you mentioned.
No, thank you. And I think that's quite valuable because maybe as a user, you might not come back and keep staying at hotels very often. But if there are ways that you can redeem these points beyond just the hotel nights also, it comes in very handy. I would like to open it to all of you now to kind of answer one key question, which would be looking ahead, what are some of the very exciting possibilities for AI that you see in shaping the future of customer loyalty in the travel space? And what are some of the potential challenges that you see? And as an industry, how can we really handle them responsibly? Maybe we can go in order.
Sure. So I think travel and hospitality is, amongst all the sectors, is the most intimate one, right? And a good experience for each of us, the answer to it will be different for each person. And I think with AI, it's a possibility for brands to target a segment of one person, right? So hyper personalization definitely is coming in. It's a matter of getting it right. The other is the sentiment analysis, right? Like you mentioned that you see your customers going to Instagram and voicing out their voices and opinions, right? So, and with this machine learning and natural language processing, brands are able to analyze what customers are thinking about you, what are they saying about you. You're able to search through their views, right? And tailor your services as per the expectation of the customer. So hyper personalization definitely. In terms of what could be a challenge, right? I think customers do want personalized offers, but they're also very cautious about how the data is getting used, right? And as businesses are offering those kind of those great experiences, personalized experiences, they have to be careful that it's a good surprise for the customer and it's not making the customer uncomfortable, right? So maybe the companies need to keep speaking to the customer that this is the information that I have about you, and is it good? This is how I am, using it. So it should not be out of the blue, and it has to be a relationship which is, built over time. Yeah, so I think that will be important to make your customers comfortable. Secondly, I think it's very important for probably companies, and especially being in the financial sector, which is very regulated, that AI models and the decisions that you implement are consistent to the relevant industry regulations. And also probably for businesses to have a AI governance model, right, within their organization, to ensure that, again, these AI models are, fair and equitable. Yeah, so I think some of these things will become a key to ensure that there is trust and confidence in AI, and that's the only way that we'll be able to scale it.
Got it. So hyper-personalization and data security becomes key.
From my perspective, I feel like for travelers, while traveling is an experience, but it's also associated with a lot of stress, whether it is searching, booking, staying, and experiencing. And I feel AI has that power which can help people travel the way they like, see what they want, experience the way they want, and maybe also in the language they understand, they are comfortable. So I think that's a huge opportunity to unlock, even for bigger brands or like a consortium of brands and partnerships. So that's, I think, will add a lot of benefit to the end travelers. On the challenge, I would say globally the travel loyalty space is about $25 billion industry, expected to grow at about 9%. I guess APAC as a region will contribute about 1/3 of that growth. I see it as an opportunity how and what new ways companies can unlock, or this partnership can grow, and that growth of 9% could be even much higher.
Okay, so the first question was the
What are some-
opportunity and
yeah.
stuff, right? So
Yeah.
I think I completely agree with him that there is a lot of stress, but you want to do that research, right? So when you're booking as a customer, when I'm booking a travel, right, the next logical thing for me to do is looking for what place do I want to go, where do I want to eat, where do I want to shop. So there is definitely an opportunity where this aggregation based on my profile, if you could help me find these are the blogs that you should watch, or these are the YouTube videos you should look at while you're traveling here, that would be really helpful. In terms of challenge with AI, I think travel, this is not just travel related, this is a general problem with AI, which is data, right? I mean, you are collecting user data. So, using that data responsibly becomes very, very important. Second, I also feel that while we're talking about AI so much, and automation will definitely happen, you don't want automation to go to a stage that it is automation fatigue, right? I mean, you don't want everything automated. I do want to see things by myself as well, right? So taking users' input at some places would be helpful, right? So you make them feel involved, be part of the process. And for the data, I think your question was also on how do we kind of solve that, right? The challenge.
Yeah, challenge and how as an industry we can.
Yeah, so on the data bit, I think having compliance, like she mentioned, and also using anonymized data when you're using data at scale, that could be those are things that you could do to solve that problem. And also data brings in another challenge of using and processing the data, because it's going to be really large, right? So that is another challenge that we will be looking at as we start mainstreaming AI.
I like the term fatigue automation fatigue. I think I'm going to use that sometime. Uh, no, I think a lot has already been covered in terms of. If I have to use an analogy, right? Like, think about when you're planning a trip with your cousins or your family group, or for that matter, a large group of friends. There's a big WhatsApp group, and there's one person or two people who's driving the conversation ahead, right? Everyone else, like myself for sure, I just wait for someone else to make the plan, right? But there are these people who are there in those families also, they are angels, you know, like without them, the plan would not happen in the first place. So I feel like if I use that analogy, that's AI, right? Like AI can be that confidant, it can be that trusted person, it can be that concierge, whatever you call it. And very beautifully put by Pankaj, like you takes the stress out, right? And it can be on a one-on-one basis, it can be on a group basis, but it's just so powerful, you know, like every part of that journey from planning to post can be taken care of by someone who is more invested in you than you are yourself. So I feel that's the opportunity, and that's the this thing. Yeah, of course, like data, like we're talking. I feel like, look, like I've spent a limited amount of time in travel. I feel the only two things I understand is that like trust and convenience are everything, in no matter what industry we're in. So it doesn't matter what the regulation is. When you like, it's always good to over communicate when it comes to like what kind of data you're using, and always good to kind of um, really let the customer opt in to the data they're sharing, because that's getting more and more of a conversation, and you just want to make them absolutely comfortable. Very fine line between providing amazing personalization and data privacy. So I feel just doing the right thing, irrespective of what the regulation says, and like over communication in these times, is something which would probably be one way ahead for all of us in our respective roles for that data issue.
Thank you. I think trust and convenience, I think, are very keywords, obviously, for all of us and for hotels. And one thing to note is that India is a low trust society. Like, people don't believe in things very easily. Yeah. And when it comes to hotels and other industries, people have been cheated in the past, and we have those experiences that we want to be double sure about everything. So what we're trying to build is on that trust. So using technology, as I mentioned, we are coming towards a time where we'll have AI-guided tours on the website. So basically, when you unlock that tool, there's an AI-powered chat that is actually speaking through and taking you through in the entire hotel in a way that you'll feel that you're actually there and looking at it, guided by somebody in person. And with the metaverse technology, you can actually fly across. You can look at each of the room from inside out, outside in, the views, everything. So that before you click and decide, you can actually choose which room to stay in the entire resort. All rooms have their benefits, right? Some would have a better view, some would have a bigger balcony. So we want to give the power to guests to select the room based on what they want and pay accordingly. So that way we get better pricing and guests get exactly what they want. So we want to build trust using AI. And I'm very excited about that future. Another aspect of AI that really helps in travel is the chat. So we know the power of WhatsApp. Like, we all are connected on WhatsApp. That's the one platform that connects even all of us as you speak. And then we have the chat GPT of the world that is all-knowing, all-powerful machine that we work with. So I'm looking forward to a sort of coming together of a WhatsApp and a chat GPT that is very personalized to travel, that can actually answer guest queries beyond what they're asking and help them plan their travel and give them their requirements in the most convenient way. So that's something I'm, again, excited about. What I'm scared about is, obviously, again, coming from trust, is the security part. So while we have the Silicon Valley in India, we also have a Jamtara in India. And these hacks don't stop. Like, even we are getting attacked every day. Thankfully, with support of Google and with technologies, we're able to ward off that so far. But I think government also has to upkeep and go more strong on these players who are going to hurt the trust that people have on technology and digital platforms. Because otherwise, of course, we'll keep growing, but these things slow us down in some way or other. and move people back from online to offline. So that's something I'm a bit scared about. That's it.
Yeah, you said it all. But yeah, my colleagues have said it all. But I think there's a huge potential of AI, is what I feel. The big, giant companies are investing in India. They're putting in a lot of money. And we're sitting in cities like Delhi, Mumbai, Pune, and Bangalore, which are already high tech, right? But imagine the other part of the country. They don't even know what AI or chat GPT is. And in our corporations, the people have come up to you, started using chat GPT to reply to emails. I'm sure you must have witnessed a few people. So advantages are humongous. Opportunities are huge. The faster we inculcate AI strategies in our businesses, the more we take advantage of it. Chat experience, like for example, right? So if your key is not working, or if you've not got a coffee, and you've sent a message on an application of hotels like Hyatt, Marriott, or Radisson, probably will take 30 seconds, a minute to respond back. But if you said, "Where is my coffee? It's getting late," the first message you'll get within 1 second would be, "Apologies, please allow me to look into it." What is that? That is AI, right? So after that, we as a team get instant notification that there's a customer who's not happy. Again, that is through the help of AI. And then the teams get notified through human factor, the associate sitting at the back, and they kind of fix the entire experience for a customer. So I think the challenge which we'll feel in future is the operations, the human touch. That we need to also work at. We can't get AI and lose on our teams. We can't have spending money in our systems and our associates joining Radisson, for example. So that is a big challenge. We got to guard it right now. Now is the time to invest and guard our teams. That's what I feel.
No, and I think we all have witnessed if there is any, if you're reaching out to customer support through a chat, and the moment you feel that it's an automated response, you would ideally end that chat and you would want to give a call. So while I think companies can leverage chat in a big way because it takes away a lot of the human effort, but I think also how can you make it more and more personalized so that at the end you feel you're actually chatting with someone who's there to solve your needs becomes very, very crucial. Um, I would actually, because we started with a rapid fire, I would actually want to end with a quick question as well. The audience sitting here, if they have to take like one key statement from the discussions that we have had so far, what would that one key takeaway be? I'm going to share at the end what mine were, but if you want to have to kind of share like in a quick sentence or two, what would that be?
Okay, my one key takeaway, and maybe for the audience as well, was collaboration. I think a lot of brands, even in unrelated industries, are collaborating with each other, whether travel or Starbucks, or even like I was speaking to Pankaj before the panel, that how they're collaborating with another card network or even Google, right? So I think that's going to be the way forward, really, to deliver an experience. My another takeaway was that I didn't know Marriott had so many reward loyalty tiers. So I'm a gold elite, so I have many more to go. Really, yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, I just want to add to what she said. I think it's about how do you, how does different part of the ecosystem come together collectively and make it more beautiful to experience the travel, whether, I mean, it is a direct to customer company or us who are like in the back end often, like backstage, B2B. And then I'm sure like, Gen AI would, or like AI will solve a lot of things, but you still, when you check in at a hotel, a lot of guests will still want that big smile and like a feeling that someone is being welcomed. And I don't think so that a technology bot would be able to do that. So yeah,
You'll have me standing at the desk when you come in.
Yeah, and I totally agree. I think, that self-check-in hotels, I hate them because you don't see people, you're like, you're so spoiled we are spoiled as Indians. But as a takeaway from, this discussion today and just using AI in business, I feel, don't just build AI for the sake of building AI. Think of what it's solving for your customer, right? So at the end of it, there's a friction that you're trying to solve for, and look for either the fastest, if AI is helping you in the fastest way or the best way for your customers to get there, use AI in that way. Don't think of AI as the first solution, right? Or just
Yeah, absolutely. I completely agree. I think two parts. One is we have this thing in Skyscanner where we keep saying traveler first. So any difficult decision, we're like, okay, what makes sense for the traveler? So just because the AI hype is there doesn't mean everything has to come through that. So I think that like having that lens, like does it make is it building trust, is it building convenience, is AI helping? Then let's do that. Uh, but I do think the one thing about it, it is definitely a seismic change in technology. And like every other change, like let's say from data to mobile to AI, the short term will be very exaggerated. There'll be a lot of hype. But in the long term, we'll really underestimate it. So I feel like be patient, keep plugging away what you believe is right, what you believe makes sense for your true customer or traveler, whoever that is, and then let the system take care of itself.
Yeah, I think Radisson Hotels has become the name in hospitality because we have been delivering value for our guests as well as to the owners that work with us. I think the key message is build trust before you build anything because that drives business. And use AI when you use it in a very responsible way so that we don't go wrong in the long term. So that's a long-term approach we would take with any technology. Maybe we start a bit late, but start when you're very sure about what you're doing. But at the end, we have to build trust, and that is what will deliver value to both the partners that we work with and the guests that do walk into the hotels.
I think for me, it'll be part of, key takeaway would be that we are all part of India Digital Summit, right? So it's about growing India, growing ourselves first, growing our companies, growing our people, which eventually would lead to the economic growth of India with the help of Internet and Mobile Association of India, which is helping create such events and spread awareness. It's a great initiative, and we all like to be part of this initiative. And let's grow ourselves and the country.
Thank you. I think for me, of course, personalization is key. Customer service and support remain center stage for a market like India, and also the evolving loyalty program ecosystem. But at the same time, what everybody mentioned, keeping customer at the core, delivering trust, value, confidence, that's at the heart of it. While AI will play an integral role going forward, but how also we don't lose the human touch. Where is that fine balance between AI and human is what will be interesting to kind of look at. I come from Google, so I can tell you that as a company, we are taking huge strides when it comes to AI. Google has been an AI first company for the longest time. In case of travel, we've tried to see how can we make the consumer journey more and more seamless when it comes to discovery and planning their travel. You would have seen that so much of content resides on YouTube. YouTube probably would be your first medium where you will want to go and check around things to do, where to stay, what to do, what not to do. At the same time, with the recent launch of, on google.com, you would have seen AI overviews getting launched, wherein you type a query and you would get more than enough information to kind of plan your travel or things to do, etc. Recent also investments around circle to search, travel discovery, local exploration. Again, at center, consumer remains at the center in terms of when somebody is coming to google.com, how can we make this search journey more and more seamless so that they can discover brands and at the same time get value out of it remains core. So thank you so much, everyone, for being candid with your conversations. I'm sure there's a lot of takeaways for everyone sitting in this room, and I hope you enjoyed the discussion as much as I did. Thank you so much.